1963 Corvette Grand Sport is a car that wasn't supposed to exist. This particular car is fitted with a 6.2-liter LT1 V8 that Chevy fitted as standard to the C7 Corvette when it debuted. There's no stutter or cough as the old gases mix with the new in an attempt at combustion as in an old Vet, but there's no click whir of a modern starter, either. The key turns and the side pipes deafen. That we didn't know this V8 had in it. We figure GM's fancy engineers with their fancy software and fancier engineering degrees had bred it out. While this is an officially licensed GM product, complete with access to the blueprints and part specs on the original cars, GM and Superformance are still working out a couple of things. Modern motors, you see, are designed to work in big systems with lots of electronic inputs, break the chain, and things get funny. The funny here is expressed in idle irregularities and the first couple millimeters of throttle travel. Instead of being able to tinker with the carbs or the throttle cable, however, the engineers down here are exchanging code with those in Michigan to sort things out. As you might expect from a car that needed fender flares the size of guardrails, there is perhaps too much tire here. The mag wheels are wrapped in Avon rubber front and rear 245/60 R15 up front and 295/50 R15s muffin topping the backside. We're off without a hint of tire or clutch smoke, but enveloped in a wall of noise. The rear squats like a dog on its favorite lawn, and the steering goes spooky light. Shifting the Tremec T56 6-speed manual into second momentarily cures the lightness as the front dives hard on its springs and sidewalls, number save at the sidewalls, teasing you with some steering confidence before it is immediately stripped away as you plow deep into the tatch in the next gear. The experience is a sensory wonderland of sound and smell and vibration. It is lacking in one department, though: speed. Our test car just didn't have the oomph we'd expect from this much power in this little fiberglass. The motor pulled to the top like an LT1 and never sounded like it missed a beat, but we were working hard to only go kind of fast. It recalibrated the way we wanted to drive. It's not just that we were driving this differently, more lackadaisically, than we would a C7, but we were driving it with less aggression, and thus less glee, than we would even a normal 60s Vet. It's a condition of the above, mostly. The 1960s Corvettes, even the racing ones, weren't made for modern tires or the precision of modern throttle control. Corvettes aren't dainty, delicate things. They respond well to some physicality and drive well when at least two of the tires are shy on grip. Check out some vintage Corvette racing someday, those cats aren't fingertip finessing the cars to go fast. The downstream effect of this much grip is that it highlights the softness of the suspension and weaknesses of a chassis from the 60s. Less tire would bring back the charm. Once holding speed, the Superformance Grand Sport cruises like you want a car such as this to cruise: loud, soft, and hot. Power windows, optional, helped a bit. Air conditioning, optional, helped a bit. You never forget that this is an old design, with a small interior, lousy seats in sports cars weren't comfortable until the 1980s, and very little sonic or thermal insulation between you and everything else. Exactly as it should be. As you've likely guessed, exactly as it should be isn't cheap. The package starts at $109,900, and then requires things such as the engine, transmission, and assembly. Oh, and the 100% period correct, functional rear deck differential oil cooler. All told, this car wears a sticker price of $169,265, which, while a lot, is a downright bargain compared with an original which would need another comma in its price, if you could even find one to buy.